This is the Callahan Death Machine, the Draw, Impact Wrestlers, Wrestler of the Year, Moment of the Year, Match of the Year, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the Interactive Interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard, and you're in the Wrestling Epicenter.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Interactive Wrestling Radio. My name is James Walsh, and guess what I've got back? At least for the most part, my voice. My voice has been gone since November, and more or less, I'm back to the way I used to sound. So, thank you guys for putting up with my Stevie Richards, Brian Pillman kind of voice. I realize that's kind of insensitive. Those guys had surgeries on their throat, but what else am I going to say? Robert Gibson? I don't know. Somebody with a grizzly voice. Anyway, I'm back, and I'm back doing a big-time interview with the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. He is the Draw, Sami Callihan. Man, I've had this guy on a number of times. I've been a fan of his since before he went to WWE. I've become a bigger fan of his since his run with Lucha Underground and subsequently the monster run that he is on right now with Impact Wrestling. Sami Callihan is the man, and he is an incredibly intense individual, but I'll tell you what, he brings it every time. You will never see Sami Callihan phone it in. So let's get to the telephone interview with Sami Callihan. See what I did there? Impact Wrestling presents Brawl at the Brewery from the hottest venue in the world, literally, on Friday, the 10th of January. That is an Impact Plus exclusive. And then, of course, from the Bomb Factory, which, by the way, housed a live Bret Michaels DVD. Oh, yes, I went there. Poison. We got the big tour happening in the baseball and football stadiums in 2020. Our genre's back alive, baby. Anyway, the Bomb Factory, where Impact Wrestling held Slammiversary just last year, and a rematch from Slammiversary last year, is Sami Callihan, now World Heavyweight Champion, facing Tessa Blanchard in a rematch from their Slammiversary Classic that won the Match of the Year for Impact Wrestling in 2019. I'm sure they'll steal the show. I had no idea last time around when I interviewed Sami for Slammiversary that was going to be the main event. Now I know, without a shadow of a doubt, this will be the main event of Hard to Kill, the perfect name for Impact Wrestling. After all their ups and downs, they are definitely hard to kill. They're stronger than ever before, certainly than they've been in a real long time. I'm so glad to have a working relationship with Impact Wrestling. I want to thank Ross Foreman of Impact Wrestling for helping set this interview up, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in right here at WrestlingEpicenter.com. Be sure and click that like button. Be sure and subscribe to our channel. Comment. Tell your friends what you're listening to. And, of course, follow us on social media. W Epicenter on Twitter. Facebook.com/Wrestling Epicenter, where our largest following on social media is. And, of course, the website, the mecca, the home of it all. InteractiveWrestlingRadio.com is the interview site. And the main site is WrestlingEpicenter.com.
Hey, this is the Macho Man Randy Savage, and you're listening to the Interactive Interview. Oh, yeah.
Want your advertisement here? Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com and shoot us an email. You can have your ad appear on our podcasts as well as on our website. Once again, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com and contact us.
All right, so I've been working on this. Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back to Interactive Wrestling Radio. On the Newsmaker line with us right now is the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, The Draw, Sami Callihan. Mr. Callihan, are you with me?
I was going to say that was a shit interview, but I'm pretty sure you nailed all the major points, so I'm going to let that one go. You nailed it.
See,
I'm proud of you.
Every time we do this, I'm getting a little bit better. At some point, I'm going to win you over completely, but I'll take that one. That's good. Thank you.
It's going to do a lot more than that. You're going to have to bring me cookies or cake or some sort of alcohol, something, to put me over, not just getting my name right.
All right. Well, we'll work on that next time. I'll bring cookies. I'll make a note and maybe some beer. All right.
Big fan of Snickers.
Snickers? And what kind of beer do you like?
Dude, not a beer guy. I'm a vodka guy.
Vodka works too. Yeah, I'm with you. All right.
Tito's all day, every day. Not every day, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. All right. So last time we spoke, you were in Los Angeles, and we were promoting Bound for Glory. And I know Bound for Glory didn't necessarily go the way that you wanted, but almost immediately thereafter did. And you are now the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. How cool is it to finally hold the World Heavyweight title?
Well, it's not just cool. It's something that should have happened years ago with other companies. I'm a guy that should have been in the forefront of a wrestling company a long time ago. But, people like me don't always get to be the face of a company. And now I've changed the entire wrestling business for the better.
Absolutely. And when you say people like you, how do you mean?
5'8" white kid from Ohio. They're not usually the top picks to be the front man of a wrestling company. You got guys like Brian Cage. You want guys like Moose. You don't want a guy like Sami Callihan. But the one thing that I have they don't have is I connect with people, and I'm the most watched thing on all of Impact Wrestling.
I would agree with you. And one of the people that you had a match of the year with was Tessa Blanchard. And I guess, here we are again. I interviewed you right before Slammiversary as well. It seems like all the major pay-per-views, I get you on the phone, and I'm so happy for it. Here we are heading into Hard to Kill, and of course the night before is 2 nights before actually is going to be Brawl at the Brewery. Thoughts heading into those matches and facing Tessa Blanchard again, and could we see another match of the year between you two?
I think any match that I step in 2020 could be a match of the year. It doesn't matter if you put me against a broom. I'm one of the best professional wrestlers walking this planet today, and Tessa Blanchard should be thankful that she's in the ring with me because I'm going to make her famous.
Absolutely, and that match you had at Slammiversary was absolutely incredible. And of course, the battle that you guys had just recently on Impact, it just was released today, that got viewed over 4 million times on Facebook. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's why I'm called The Draw. I'm the most watched thing in Impact Wrestling. Some people might argue, oh no, that's Tessa Blanchard. Well, it takes two to tango, and it seems to be that everything that I set my hands on in Impact Wrestling is absolute gold.
I agree. So, honest question here, though, because I was thinking about this earlier. You say it's not intergender wrestling, it's just professional wrestling, it's just pro wrestling. I can't see certain knockouts, though, integrating like that with the men quite as easily as maybe Tessa has. Is it just a person-by-person basis, or what is it that makes somebody be able to keep up with the guys? And do you know, as a guy performer, who you think maybe can't do so?
I don't think it's just keeping up with the guys at this point. I think sometimes it's even keeping up with the girls. I don't like this whole, oh, she's a female wrestler. Oh, he's a male wrestler. At this point, it's not intergender wrestling. It's just professional wrestling. I think Impact Wrestling proves that better than anyone because the entire knockouts division for Impact is step in the ring with the men and go blow to blow and absolutely kill it.
Absolutely. So the buildings in Dallas, Texas are notorious for their insulation or lack thereof, dating all the way back to the Sportatorium. I've heard Josh Matthews say many times that the Brawl at the Brewery last time around was brutally hot. Are you expecting it to be a little bit
of a... It might have been the hottest building I ever wrestled in, and thank God we're going back there in the winter months, so it's maybe a little bit not as hot. But it was probably top 5 hottest places I've ever wrestled in my entire life.
Was it brutal? Was it hard working through in that environment?
It was extremely brutal. The air was so thick, you couldn't breathe, and I'm going toe-to-toe with a legend in RVD, so you already got that working against you. It was a hard night for everyone.
Oh, man. But you're going back in the winter this time, so maybe it'll be brutal cold in there. Who knows?
Yeah, I get to destroy Tessa Blanchard with the rest of OVE 2 days before the pay-per-view, so it's a win-win for me.
Very cool. And you mentioned the rest of OVE. I've been lucky enough to have interviewed Jake Crist a number of times. I've spoken to Madman Fulton. I've never interviewed Dave Crist. Is Dave Crist just not a talkative kind of fella?
No, he's probably the most talkative out of all of us. You just haven't been going through the right channels.
Is that true? Okay. I might have to see what I can do about that. That's awesome. So
I guarantee you can set up anything through Ross Foreman of Impact Wrestling. He does more for Impact Wrestling than people ever know.
I agree with you. He's a hardworking guy. I've been dealing with him since his first go-around in Impact back in 2005, 2006. So, yeah.
Got beat up by Randy Savage in WCW Nitro back in the day.
Yep.
That's a win for me.
Yep, and he felt the torture rack of Lex Luger, too. So
He has a beautiful bald head.
there you go. Ross got some love on this one.
See your reflection out of it.
There you go. All right. So this is the one that might make you mad, okay? Recently I watched an interview with a guy who's always the smartest guy in the room, no matter what room he's in, at least in his own opinion, and that is Austin Aries. And he took a shot at what sounded like a shot at you for going overtime with your match of the year with Pentagon before him at Slammiversary. Any thoughts on his making that comment, and what do you make of that?
Austin Aries can kiss my ass. Austin Aries is always the victim. He never does anything wrong. Everyone's always out to get him. At this point, he can just kiss my ass and we'd be done with it.
All right. All right. So I was mentioning the guys from OVE. One of the guys that I've really been enjoying seeing grow, and I think has such an upside in the weeks and months and years to come, is Madman Fulton. What's your thoughts on your big man?
100%. He's another guy that he didn't fail NXT. NXT failed him. He's a dude with unlimited potential. He's an absolute monster. And I'm glad we were able to get our hands on him and actually show him the proper way of what he's capable of, because now the world's his oyster and he can be one of the top wrestling stars on the entire planet.
Very cool. So a lot's changed since we last spoke. Like I mentioned, it was right before Bound for Glory. You guys were just getting ready to start on Access TV, and one of the things I love that you said is you took a shot at a little bit of the bubbly. So I wanted to ask your take on wrestling as we have it now in 2020, and how companies that are not WWE are striving, is that the right word? Striving and succeeding without the comfort of just being a WWE umbrella product.
Everyone wants to be against each other, but at the end of the day, this is the greatest time ever to be a wrestling fan, because there's so many alternatives, and everyone's winning. People can shit on WWE, but they're still making a ton of money, and they still have a lot of eyes on them. Just does Impact, just does AEW, just does any other major wrestling company on the planet today. Like, one of the biggest problems is everyone wants to fight and bitch and complain about each other instead of just enjoying the wrestling. Everyone's a critic now. Everyone has a podcast, and everyone thinks they're a wrestling expert. At the end of the day, it just doesn't work like that.
Right. I was watching a show. It was a WCW Saturday Night from 1992, and I remember watching it as a kid and loving it. And I'm watching it now with this annoying, nitpicking viewpoint. And I thought, you know what? I wish I could just be a kid again and just watch this stuff and not be this arrogant, nitpicky jerk. And I kind of changed the way I view wrestling after that. I'm just enjoying what I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, I'm going to shut up and not say anything about it.
Yeah, you can do change the channel or watch something else. But it's not just wrestling at this point in society. It's everything. It's movies, it's television, it's any form of entertainment, it's any form of politics, it's any form of religion. Like, everyone wants to bitch and complain and fight with each other instead of just enjoying what they enjoy and hating what they hate.
Do you think that it's because people think they sound intelligent if they're bitching and moaning all the time?
No, it's because I think people are egotistical and they think that their voice actually matters on Twitter. In a world that's filled with millions and millions and millions of people, they think them and their 500 followers actually gain traction in the world today.
I love it. I love it. All right, so once again, we're heading into a major pay-per-view. Hard to Kill. It used to just be a slogan, but it quickly became the pay-per-view name. Thoughts as you head into
three pay-per-views in a row that the Draw Shane McCallahan is main evented. There's a reason for that, because anything that Impact puts in front of me is the highest watched thing on the entire show, so why wouldn't I be the main event?
Absolutely. And I guess final thoughts as you head in and face Tessa Blanchard in the main event of Hard to Kill.
It's not the fact that I hate Tessa Blanchard because she's a woman, because that has nothing to do with it. I hate Tessa Blanchard because I think she's an entitled brat that's been given everything. She's everything that's been wrong with the wrestling business for the last 10 years. This group of millennials, as people like to call them, they think everything should just be handed to them. They don't have to work hard. They've never had to struggle. They've just been given everything. And Tessa Blanchard is the poster boy, the poster child, the poster girl for whatever that is.
I agree. Kind of a random question. I said this would be the last question, but I tell a lie. Can you envision any other, and I know you said they're all wrestlers, but can you envision any other female wrestlers that would be able to step up to the plate and challenge you for the world title?
Taya, Jessica Havoc, Jordan Grace, Rosemary, there's 4 right off the top of my head.
That's awesome, and I agree with all 4, and I would love to see you and Jessica Havoc go at it, because you guys have a lot.
I wrestled Taya at Lucha Underground, I think 3 or 4 years ago at this point. It was one of the best matches in Lucha Underground history.
It was. I saw that match. I was a big Lucha Underground fan, and kind of did open the door for all this intergender wrestling on a mainstream level.
The big thing is, like, now that the knockouts are jumping into the world title picture, when am I going to be able to jump into the knockouts division and have our championship around my waist?
Yeah, I remember that in the old video games when the guy could wrestle for the women's title, and it was always used to be a funny kind of thing, but now it's not as
Maybe
up
in
there.
2020, I'll be the first person to ever hold the world championship and the knockouts championship simultaneously.
All right. Well, Sammy, I thank you again for your time here tonight. Anything you want to say to the Wrestling Epicenter faithful and the Impact Wrestling fans?
2020, Happy New Year's. Everyone's going to kiss my ass. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep being the most watched wrestler in all of Impact Wrestling, one of the most watched wrestlers on the entire planet.
I love it, man. Thank you for your time. I hope that wasn't a bad question with the Austin Aries thing.
No, I don't care. You can ask me whatever you want.
All right, man. At the
end of the day, as always, Austin Aries can kiss my ass like everyone else.
All right, man. I thank you so much for your time, and I will transcribe this and get this out there by the end of the week.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Hey, it's Tony Schiavone, and you're listening to the Wrestling Epicenter. And I would stick around, but I'm desperately out of time.